You want to bolt an automated reviewer onto your pull requests using Azure OpenAI. The hard part isn't calling the API, it's the design choices that decide whether the thing is useful or just noise. In the next 5 minutes, I'll frame this as a series of trade-offs. Which model to deploy, how much code to feed it, how to get structured output, and where to run it. By the end, you'll have a concrete recommendation framework and a Python skeleton you can ship. Before picking parts, get clear on what you're optimizing. For things dominate. First, signal quality, a reviewer that flags real bugs, not style nits your linter already catches. Second, cost per pull request, because you pay per token and big diffs add up fast. Third, latency, since developers won't wait 2 minutes for feedback. Fourth, determinism and safety. You need parsable, consistent output, and you must never leak proprietary code. Hold these 4 criteria in mind because every option below trades one against another. Your first real decision is the model deployment. As a rule of thumb, reach for GPT-4o Mini as the default workhorse. It's cheap enough to run on every push and fast, and for catching null checks, obvious logic errors, and missing tests, it's surprisingly good. Reserve the full GP4o or a reasoning model like O3 Mini for deep architectural review or security passes you trigger manually or on the main branch. Don't pay frontier prices to review a one-line config change. Pricing and model availability shift constantly, so check the current Azure OpenAI docs. Next, context strategy. The naive approach dumps whole files into the prompt, which blows your token budget and dilutes attention. The better default is to send the unified diff plus a few lines of surrounding context per hunk. For changes that touch a function whose callers matter, selectively pull in just those reference symbols. Always strip secrets and generated files before sending. Keep a per file token ceiling and split large diffs into multiple calls rather than truncating silently. The goal is maximum relevant signal per token, not maximum code. Free text reviews are unparsable, so force structured output. Use the chat completions API with a JSON schema response format and a system prompt that defines exactly what a finding looks like: file, line, severity, and message. This lets you map each finding straight onto a pull request comment at the right line, drop low severity noise, and keep results deterministic by setting temperature near 0. Here's the code call in Python using the Azure OpenAI client. Now wire it up. The cleanest pattern. A webhook from your Git provider hits an Azure function on each pull request event. The function pulls the diff, calls your Azure OpenAI deployment, and posts findings back as review comments. Keep the API key out of code by reading it from Azure Key Vault through Managed Identity. If reviews are heavy or bursty, drop a queue between the webhook and the worker so you absorb spikes and retry failures instead of timing out the webhook. Functions keeps it serverless and cheap at low volume. 2 final trade-offs. To control cost and latency, batch findings into one structured call per chunk rather than chatting back and forth. Cache results keyed on the diff hash so reruns are free, and gate the expensive model behind a label or branch rule. On Guardrails, pin an API version, log token usage per pull request so cost doesn't surprise you, and treat the assistant as advisory, never a merge blocker on its own. A confident-sounding hallucinated bug that blocks merges will destroy team trust faster than anything. To recap the framework, default to GPT-4o Mini and escalate to a bigger model only for deep passes. Send filtered diffs instead of whole files. Force JSON schema output at temperature 0 and host it on functions with secrets in Key Vault. Keep it advisory and watch your token logs. Your one concrete next step: build the diff to JSON findings call first and test it against 10 real pull requests before wiring any webhooks. That tells you whether the signal is worth shipping. And always check the current Azure OpenAI docs for model and pricing changes. If this helped, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss the next one. See you in the next video.